Hi, it's Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. My goal inside of this communication, this show, is to share with you my nearly 30 years of coaching some of the most successful financial advisors in North America. We're going to be talking about strategies, syntaxes. We're going to be bringing guests on from time to time, and I'm going to share with you what's working now. So think of this show as sort of like a little one-on-one kind of mini coaching cast, if you like, where we're going to be going in depth from time to time on strategies to help you grow your business, get more effective, become more efficient, find balance in your time management, grow your business, and quite frankly, whatever else is going on in the world today. So before we get to today's episode, I'd love for you to do a couple things for me. Number one, make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're doing the audio, make sure that you give us a review on whether Spotify or Apple. We'd really appreciate that. And quite frankly, that does help. It does matter when you rate things and like things and subscribe to things. It helps us get the word out to more of the industry. And lastly, I have a very special gift for you. Go to MagellanNetwork.net, so one word, MagellanNetwork.net, and I have for you a complimentary membership, 100% gratis, where you can tap into about between 50 and 75 hours of masterclasses, forms, tools, templates, and strategies. So please go ahead and make sure you go get that claimed, smash the like button and subscribe. And please go ahead and leave us a review on whatever podcasting platform you're on. And now, let's get to this week's episode. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And what we want to do this week is spend a few minutes talking about adversity, everybody's favorite subject, because here's why this is important. How you handle adversity is really one of the most important factors to your level of success. Now, what do I mean by that? The reality is for most human beings that when things are going well, or the appearance that things are going well, I'm sailing with the wind, there's no issues, nothing going on. It's basically you can be successful, you can kind of execute, your mind's in a good place. And those are beautiful times. And in the financial advisor world, other for a little window back in March of 2020, quite frankly, we've been sailing with the wind for 12 years, since first quarter of 2009, if some of you can remember that far back. And I think what's really important here is that not that we seek adversity, nobody goes out looking for issues, of course, but they show up. And when they show up, how you deal with them, are you going to be able to push through them, reframe them, use them as fuel for excellence, or do you capitulate? Do you kind of go in scarcity mode? Do you go in survival mode? That will have a very large bearing on your success. And I'm going to give you a metaphor. It's like investing. If when things are bad, you pull out of the market and you don't know when to get back in, studies have shown that you miss massive amounts of returns. Well, the same thing in our world, which is if you're doing okay in normal times, then you, in essence, go in the tank for a couple of quarters or, a year or two. You break down all your momentum. All of a sudden, all your habits, everything that served you is gone. You have this pattern of survival, scarcity, and that's a real challenge to break out of it. So let's spend a few minutes. I know it's summer. Let's spend a few minutes just talking about this because this is, when I look at a lot of advisors, I think the real challenge for many of you, quite frankly, and I say this with respect, is that it's been so long since you had to handle, in essence, sailing in these kind of conditions, growing your business in these kind of conditions, that you've had your muscles atrophy, and we don't know what to do. So let's kind of break down adversity real quick, and it kind of comes in two different flavors, right? Flavor number one is external adversity, which are external things you do not control, weather, political climate, geopolitical things, stock markets, so on and so forth, right? So in other words, you can kind of go bitch about them. Nothing you can do. It is what it is, right? So what I would recommend you do is come up with a rule set. We call it a frame or frame of reference, and just accept it. You don't have to like it. So let me be very clear. Accepting something does not automatically mean you like it, right? It just means I understand it, it's happening. So now instead of saying to yourself, which is what most people do, why is this happening, right? You do not get a good answer. It's a loop, right? And all it's going to do is frustrate you. Better question is, okay, X is happening. Where are the opportunities? Or how do I take advantage of it, right? In essence. So let's just say, for example, just a simple one. Today's Saturday, and your goal was to go out and play golf, right? I'm going to go play golf today, Saturday. And all of a sudden it's raining like buckets, right? So how do I take advantage of this? Maybe it's time to go do some Netflix watching or chill out or read a book or maybe clean the garage. I don't know. Instead of bitching about it, what's the pivot? In your business, same thing. You could bitch to me about the markets, and I think it's a great time to be out there marketing. So it's for most of you, if you miss this window in terms of getting out there and doing business development, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass 3 to 5 years from now. Oh man, I should have focused on that. Well, I'm telling you now to focus on it. Okay? So external adversity are things that are just going to happen to us, for us, however you want to frame it, right? The key thing is to accept it and then find out how to go through it. The next level of adversity we'll call internal adversity. So these are things that a lot of times are own making, right? So what does that mean? Internal adversity. You have no business plan. You have no game plan. You're just surviving. Your health is in the crap. You're not working out. You're not eating right. You're medicating. You're self-medicating with alcohol and drugs and things like that. And you're just in this spiral, right? That's internal. In other words, you have direct control over that if you believe you do. That's key, right? So internal adversity is really interesting. Hi, Coach Joe Lukacs here, and I'm just breaking here for a moment just to do a couple quick reminders. Number one, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast. In addition, please leave a comment or a review. Those things really, really matter. And share this episode with 3 of your colleagues inside the financial services space. And lastly, make sure that you go ahead and claim your free membership inside of Magellan Network. Now back to this week's episode. Because what a lot of human beings, this is not just about advisors, by the way, what a lot of human beings try to do is take the internal adversity and blame the external adversity for it, right? So for example, these markets have me really stressed out, or I don't know what to do. I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to go to the gym, or I'm just stress eating, or I'm having cocktails on Tuesday night, which I never did before, whatever it is, right? But you blame that external force for your internal adversity. Now, why do human beings do that? Because they're operating what we call an unconscious pattern. They're not thinking about it. And here's my example. How many of us, and I'm guilty of this too, have sat down with, a box of cookies or popcorn or something, right? And you're watching TV. And you're just going through it, watching, in other words, you're unconsciously eating. And the next thing you know, your hand gets to the bottom of the box. Like, shit, where did that come? Where all that go, right? And then you're mad at yourself. And then you're like, and you get really down, like, how did this happen? Because you were unconscious about it. And by the way, most human beings operate that way. So what I'm really going to ask you to do inside of this conversation is, number one, be aware. So the one thing I do every morning, I do what I call a walk and talk. This is one of my strategies. So every morning I get up, and part of my morning ritual, part of my Magellan Morning 8, is that I'll go ahead and take a walk. And I do a walk and talk. First question that I ask is, how is Joe doing today? First question, how is Joe doing today? Now, why would I ask myself that? Because I'm taking inventory on how I am. In other words, I'm being conscious. I'm not just blindly starting my day and like a drone and the same thing over again. And some of you just get up, you're basically still unconscious. You check your phone, you're unconscious. You get ready for the game, you're unconscious. You start your day, you're just going through it because this is what I've done for 10, 20, 30 years. You must be conscious. So how's Joe doing today? Now, based on the answer, right, maybe Joe's doing great today. Maybe Joe's doing good today, or, Joe's not feeling it today, right? And look, we're all human, it happens. So based on my answer, so let's just say Joe's not feeling it today. Okay, why? Okay, well, I didn't sleep well, or I didn't sleep well, or I'm a little stressed over this, or I'm uncomfortable about that. Like I can have a conscious conversation with myself as I'm walking around my neighborhood early in the morning, and I'm getting my mind right. Most of you do not spend time getting your mind right. You just plow into the to-do list or the inbox, right? Or the news feed. You must check in with yourself every day. Simple question, how am I doing today? Here's the thing. You look, if you want to lie to yourself, I don't know what to tell you about that, okay? You don't need to tell anybody else this. But hey, how am I doing today? And if you're not doing good, why? Follow-up question. Why am I not doing well? And then you start listing the reasons. Now, you list all the reasons. Next question. Are these internal or external pieces? Are these external adverse? Oh man, I'm not doing well. Mark's got me really freaked out. External. I'm just not feeling good. Haven't been eating well. Haven't been sleeping well. That's internal. X, right? So you want to take inventory of your adversity. Hopefully it's not a big list. Internal, external, right? And then, okay, Joe, what do I do with the external? Make a conscious decision, keyword conscious. It is what it is. I cannot influence it. I cannot change it, like the weather. I must adapt to it. I must adapt to it. Now, if it's internal, time for a game plan. Okay, haven't been taking care of myself. Haven't been going to the gym. Haven't been, I'm really stressed out about the markets and everything. Okay, what action could you take? What did you do before? Because you stopped it because it was like a rationalization. So you get back to it. Caveat, do not jump back in head first. Human beings don't like massive change like that, so ease back into it, but be aware, right? The biggest problem most human beings have, they're just not aware. They're just unaware. And they end up in these patterns, and we've all done it, right? How many times have you picked up your phone and you just want to check something out? I don't care, whatever it is, right? And then, you start doing the thumb, right? Scrolling through stuff. 20 minutes, like shit, 20 minutes later, man, where'd the time go? That's an unconscious pattern, all right? So that's what I want to do inside this episode today, is just give you guys some thought on, hey, wake up, make a choice. Don't be unconscious. Understand adversity is part of life. The only way you don't get adversity is basically you live in a cave and you have no idea what's going on. Adversity is what makes life interesting. Okay? Last thing, then we're going to get you out of here. Next week, which will be the last week of June / beginning of July, every year I have my clients do a mid-year review process. So great news today. I'm going to make that available to each and every one of you. All you need to do, there's no strings here, just my gift back. All you need to do is make sure that you're a member of our network, MagellanNetwork.net. It costs you nothing. We're going to release it to network. Okay? So make sure you go make that happen. It'll be probably an hour masterclass. For those of you who are watching this is the document you're going to get access to. Here are all the forms and tools, all the cool stuff there. My gift back to you, but you have to be registered. Okay? With that said, thank you all for watching and listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. See you all again next week. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game, both personally and professionally.